Are unbeatable. How many games will the Dodgers win before suffering their first loss of the season? Also, do the Dodgers need to make another trade for a center fielder? We're going to talk about that. Also, Blake Snell, are you concerned? I'll tell you what, I'm not. All that more coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live.
It's time for Dodger baseball. Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball. The Dodgers are building a dynasty.
You got it, Ronnie, a parade. We got a parade. The Dodgers punch back and head to the championship series. Ohtani starts the 50-50 clock. Milky Magic. Freeman hits the ball to right field. She is gone. Start the party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to another episode of Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers show and podcast on YouTube. My name is Doug McKain, credentialed member of Dodgers Media. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Now, if you haven't yet, do me a huge favor. What are you waiting for? Look at the year that the Dodgers are having. Every single night, it's another moment, another memory, walk-off home runs, great performances, big debuts. There's never a shortage of reasons to want to watch and stay locked on to your Dodgers. So be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, also comment Rookie of the Year. We're going to do our Roki Sasaki jersey giveaway very soon. We're going to do the duck race is going to be back. We're going to get 10 random people, fans of the show that have subscribed, that have the notification bell on, that have commented Roki Sasaki down below, and you'll be eligible. We're going to do the duck race. It's all random, just so you know. So we'll definitely be sure to do that. We're going to do this unboxing of the Shohei Ohtani bobblehead. He hits a walk-off on his bobblehead night. Update on Freddie Freeman, Evan Phillips, and Tony Gonsolin are already in Oklahoma City for their rehab assignments. So much to get into here. But of course, every episode of Dodgers Dugout Live starts with a poll question of the show. And this one, I'm very excited to see what the results are, because this is one of those poll questions where there is no wrong answer. I asked you guys over on the X, which Dodger would you want at the plate? If you had to pick one Dodgers player to have at the plate where you need a hit with the game on the line in a clutch situation, who would you pick? And right now, 43% say Freddie Freeman, 31% say Shohei Ohtani, 22% say Mookie Betts, and 4% say other. So be sure to go over to Dodgers Nation to make sure that you're voting on that. Go to Dodgers Nation Twitter, and we're going to read some responses from that later on our designated Twitter segment, the best of Dodgers social media. We'll get into that later. I've got producer Noel. He's rocking with me as always. Noel Sanchez, he's rocking with me for sure. And he is going to be looking for your comments of the show. So for the 7th inning stretch, drop your questions, drop your comments. We're going to throw out a comment of the show. But of course, every episode begins with the leadoff.
Leading off, the hottest story in Dodger baseball.
So the hottest story in Dodger baseball is that the Dodgers look darn near unbeatable. Last night, they had no business coming back and beating the Atlanta Braves. They were trailing 5-0, 5 unearned runs. You had 2 costly throwing errors by Max Muncy in the first 2 innings. You had Blake Snell giving up 5 hits, had 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. He wasn't at his best. The relievers, they came through in a big way. Ben Casperius and Jack Dreyer both combining for just a great performance from those two 2 innings apiece. And then Kirby Yates, he was fantastic once again. This Dodgers team was able to come back. You get Max Muncy, who ditched the torpedo bat. Yesterday was not good PR, was not good publicity for the PR bat, because Max Muncy, first few at-bats of the game, struggled. He told us after the game that, yeah, he was frustrated. He basically slammed that torpedo bat and was done with it. And then he goes to the bat that has given him success throughout his career and he was 2 for 24 on the season before this at bat, and he hits a game-tying double late there in the 8th inning. The Dodgers tied at 5, and then, of course, we saw what happened. But Max Muncy getting that big base hit there, not going the torpedo bat. He did say after the game, though, that he was going to use the torpedo bat in batting practice to continue to get the feel for it. He said that it's made to his dimensions, and he has to just get more experience with it. So I don't know if he's going to ditch it completely. It didn't sound like it, but it is funny that he did go back to his normal bat, and his bat's like, hey, you don't know what you got until it's gone. Go back to the silver hammer, right? And that is what he swings. So great to see him have success because he had really not had his way at the plate so far. So to have that big moment, it really atoned for those two errors. We saw a couple nights ago, Mookie Betts, he has the error that leads to a run, and then he gets the walk-off home run. And then Max Muncy, he's able to tie things up. And then, of course, Shohei Ohtani doing Shohei Ohtani things. The biggest reason why the Dodgers are 8 in Ohtani are because the showstopper, when the lights get bright and the fans expect the most, he steps up, he goes to another level, and he hit a big walk-off shot. Let's check it out again. Let's see it from the top here. Just love to see this. I mean, not an easy pitch to hit. Not an easy boom. A changeup on the outer half, almost a pitcher's pitch. You have to muscle that. You have to have power and strength and the ability to put that bat on that baseball and hit it out on the first pitch. Is anyone surprised at this point? Is there anyone shocked that Shohei Ohtani is already back to putting up incredible MVP numbers? People were acting like he was slumping because he hadn't homered since opening day. But Shohei Ohtani does what Shohei Ohtani does, and that is hit home runs in big spots. That is meet and exceed expectations. And if there was ever a player that was built to handle the bright lights of Los Angeles, if there was ever a player to accept being the face of a sport, not just domestically, but internationally, it is a one Mr. Shohei Ohtani. And I asked the showstopper, the big show, after the game, I asked him how special that was to be able to deliver on a day where it is your bobblehead night. Fans were lining up 7 a.m. 50,000 people came to get that bobblehead. And he didn't just hit a home run. He didn't go 2 for 4, the double and a triple. He hits a walk-off home run. And here's what Shohei had to say.
And Shohei, you had a lot of fans just lining up early this morning for your bobblehead night and then be able to deliver with that walk-off home run. How much do you appreciate that, and how special was that just to come through with that walk-off on your bobblehead night?
そうですね。自分にとって特別かなと思うので、そういうなんていうんですかね、日を作ってもらって、そういう日に打てるっていうのは、本当に選手にとっては特別なことじゃないかなと思うので、いい夜だったなと思います。
Just grateful as a player, just be able to perform at an opportunity like this. We've been able to come back from behind, especially in these games because of the bullpen and how much they really do a great job of giving us the opportunity to win. So overall, not just tonight, but really good vibe within the team. So I think that's allowing us to come back from these games to win.
He's not just the greatest show in baseball. He's the greatest show in sports. He's the best athlete on the planet. He's as good at what he does as anyone right now in professional sports, and he has not even pitched yet. Imagine when he starts pitching, and he's going to take it to a whole nother level. Just an impressive showing by Shohei. He does what everyone expected him to do, and I think the big question now for the Dodgers is this team ready to take on the challenge of doing something that's even more extraordinary, that is entering the conversation as one of the best teams in the history of the sport? And Shohei said after the game that there was a great vibe, right? That's what he said right there. The great vibe within the clubhouse is what allows them to come back in games. They've trailed in 6 of their 8 games so far this season. They have 6 comeback wins already this year. Last year, they led Major League Baseball with 43 comeback wins. They had 5 wins last year where they came back trailing in the 9th inning. That is who this team is. That is their DNA. And when that is who you are as a team, you're never out of it. If you look at where the Dodgers run differential is for the first 4 innings, it's even. It's dead even with their opponent. First 4 innings, not getting off to great starts. But from the 5th inning to the 9th inning, they have dominated their opponents after that. Absolutely dominated. Over 20 runs is how much they're better in those final 5 frames. And that tells you that they're a team that never thinks they're out of it, that they come through with big hits, that their bullpen is nails to give this team a chance, as Shohei pointed out. And it's different guys. Max Muncy was 2 for 24. He gets the big hit. Jack Dreyer and Ben Kasperius were 2 guys that Dave Roberts might not have known existed this time last year, and they come through filling in for Evan Phillips and Michael Kopech, who are on the injured list right now. So I think what makes this team extra special is, yes, they're 8-0, which is the best start in LA Dodgers franchise history. They're a game away from tying the 1940 Dodgers that started 9-0, that went on to win 88 games that year and finished in second place. And they're a few games from tying the 1955 Dodgers that went 10-0 for the best start in franchise history. And now they're 5 games from tying the best start in the history of the sport, which is 13-0. It was done 3 times. The 1982 Braves, they went 13-0. The 87 Brewers went 13-0. And the 2023 Rays, they started 13-0. All 3 of those teams didn't finish in first place. The Braves, they won the division, but they didn't go to the World Series. They won the division, didn't win the World Series. The Brewers, they finished 3rd in their division. The Rays, they finished 2nd in their division. So you want to finish first. You want to finish with the 11 wins in October, and that's what this team has the potential to do. By the way, I want to point out, I got to give credit though. The St. Louis Maroons back in 1884 did start 20-0, and the New York Gothams went 12-0. So there were teams that beforehand that had some big streaks, but come on, 1884, the St. Louis Maroons. Let's talk about the modern era teams. But the Dodgers, their best winning streak at any point for any season was 15 games. That was back in 1924. And in recent history, they've had big winning streaks. Now, 8 games is already longer than any winning streak they had in their 2024 World Series championship season. Love saying that, by the way. But 2021, they had 2 9-game winning streaks. They had 3 8-game winning streaks. And we know what happened that season. You are defending your title. You finished a game behind the Giants in the division. In 2022, they had a 12-game winning streak and 1 8-game winning streak. And then in 2023, they had 1 11-game winning streak. So this is a team that has won a lot of games consecutively, and they certainly could make a run at it. But you got a Philadelphia Phillies team that's got off to a great start too, that's going to be in their way. And look, how crazy is this that the Padres, imagine starting 7-0 and you're still behind the Dodgers. Can you just imagine that? You're 7-0 and you're still in second place. It's got to be tough to be in the same division as the Los Angeles Dodgers. It's got to be tough. It's got to be like an NBA superstar trying to win a championship in the 90s. You got Michael Jordan there, right? It's got to be tough because had the Dodgers lost yesterday, they would have fallen to second place for the first time since 2023. But the Dodgers, they get the win. They stay undefeated. And Dave Roberts said after the game that this team, hey, they could be unbeatable.
I think the thing is that what it is, in my opinion, is we just continue to take good at bats. I think that there was an at bat, to start the inning, start one inning where Conforto walked, and he took some borderline pitches, led to Tommy's homer that got us back into the game, and just kind of being able to take walks, work counts, allows us to kind of get back into games without sometimes getting hits, and then we can kind of wait for that big hit, which we've gotten in this first 8 games. Well, like I said, I'm going to say my same answer every night. I feel like we're going to win, and it looked bleak early with Blake. He wasn't sharp, just missing the walks in there, but our guys persevered, and I think each night we're unbeatable, and we'll see how that works out.
So obviously you're not going to go 162-0, but 162-0 is on the table as it stands right now. Obviously, this team is going to be the opposing team's World Series in a lot of nights. They're going to see the most raucous crowds and have road attendance that's going to be higher than any team in the league because they want to see Shohei Ohtani, the Beatles of baseball, and the Los Angeles Dodgers. But the longer that this hot start goes, the more you are going to hear questions asked from people like myself that are going to say, hey, we know that you create a culture here where you want to pursue World Series titles. And that's all that matters, right? We want to win the World Series. But if you're being honest with yourself and you're saying, how do we make this year extra special? How do we make this era extra special? Well, you do that by embracing the opportunity that you have and knowing that you have the chance to go down as one of the very best baseball teams in the history of the sport. I've said this a couple times on the show, and I'll say it again. I know there are people out there saying, D-Mac, give me 98 wins. All I care about is the World Series. Sure. But you know what? I'm greedy. Give me both. Give me regular season success. Give me postseason success. Because people are acting like you can't finish with the best record and win the World Series. We saw it in 1998 with the New York Yankees. We saw it with the Red Sox. We've seen it with plenty of teams that have finished with the best record and have won the World Series. The only reason why the Dodgers didn't finish with a better record last season was because they dealt with injuries, right? That's the only reason. You lost Mookie for a couple of months. Shohei Ohtani dealing with some stuff early on, still managed to have an MVP season. Freddie Freeman out for significant time. You lost a lot of pitchers. Last year's team, I'm here to tell you, they didn't win the World Series because they lost more games than they usually do in the regular season. That's not the case. The reason they won the World Series is because the players were more talented and they were better. The teams that you loved that won all those games in the regular season but failed in the postseason didn't have Teoscar, didn't have Shohei, didn't have Yamamoto, didn't have Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts playing at their best. So I think they should go all gas, no brakes, go for the all-time wins record if you can, go for a World Series title, and then you plant your flag and you say, hey, Yankees, a lot of great titles, Cardinals, titles, been some great teams in the sport, but the Dodgers could go down as the best team in the history of baseball, and they're not even playing at their best. Think about how the Dodgers have fared. You haven't had a starter. You have not had a starter go past the fifth inning yet. You haven't gotten the best version of Tanner Scott yet. Haven't gotten the best version of Blake Snell yet. So the two best pitcher acquisitions that you made in the offseason have not pitched their best yet. Mookie Betts has missed 3 of their 8 games. Freddie Freeman has missed 5 of their 8 games. And you still are 8-0. So this team has another gear they can go to. Look, I could talk all day about this Dodgers team, but I got a super chat from 80 Aquino. What up, 80 Aquino? By the way, it was a funny story yesterday. I'll tell you, Noel. I was parking in parking lot P, I had left. I came back. It's so many people there. It's tough to find a spot. And I parked somewhere I don't usually park. I found a spot. I parked in parking lot P. I'm walking back, and I see a police car come up, SUV police car come up, and then he pulls up, and he goes past me, turns his siren on, then reverses, and I'm like, all right, I got to move my car. Yeah. All right, I'm getting arrested for something. I got framed or something. And this guy goes, hey, you D-Mac? I was like, oh yeah, what's up, man? I was like, he's like, hey man, listen to your show every day, man. It was Officer Roberto. Oh man, want to give him a shout out, but he did give me I want to give him a shout out, but he did give me a heart attack. I want to point that out. He did give me a heart attack right there. Officer Robert, man, Officer Robert, LAPD, represent Dodgers Dugout. We appreciate you and appreciate all you guys and me at the stadium. You guys are the best. You're the reason this show exists, man.
Shout out Robert.
Shout out to Rob, man, a fan of this your show. I'm just hosting it, but 80 Aquino 999 says, I'm with you, D-Mac. I'm greedy AF. Give you a comment to the show for that one. Jin Griffey Jr. Jin Griffey Jr., one of the best screen names, profile names. D-Mac, I stayed up until 2 a.m. Central Time waiting for the show. and waiting for you to go live. As soon as I fell asleep, you need a post-game office at Dodger Stadium. I love that. I wish I did. That would be pretty awesome. Okay, guys. So coming up next, we are going to talk some Blake Snell. We're going to talk about the center field position. How good do we feel about center field? Also, some injury updates. Evan Phillips, Tony Gonsolin, they're in OKC. And when will we see Freddie Freeman? That's coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live. What up, Dodgers Nation? D-Mac here to remind you that if you have not yet, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Dugout Live podcast. You can find it wherever you get your podcast. So if you want to listen to the show in audio form, when you're driving to Dodger Stadium, when you're driving from Dodger Stadium, when you're commuting to work, wherever it is, you definitely want to lock into the podcast. We're going to start featuring some podcast exclusives, interviews. So definitely, even if you do watch the show daily on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Dugout Live podcast wherever your podcast. So be sure to do that. It really supports the channel. And as always, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out. And welcome back to Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers show and podcast on YouTube. Couple reminders. I was active in the Discord channel yesterday, posting pictures and videos from Dodger Stadium. So if you're not on that new Dodgers Nation Discord, it's a lot of fun. I'm already kind of addicted to it. Definitely join. And then also get the Dodgers Nation All Access. It really supports the channel. And most importantly, it gives you more access. You get exclusive merch, behind the scenes content, ability to call into the show, special giveaways. So definitely do just that. And also, we're going to do this. We're going to open up the bobblehead, and I want to get your guys' review too. I want to hear what you guys have to say so you can rate the bobbleheads. But if you weren't able to get Shohei Ohtani's first bobblehead of the year last night, make sure to buy this new LED hologram Shohei bobblehead that just dropped. 8-inch bobblehead with a hologram behind him. Features him in his wedding gown white jersey. Just over 200 of them available. Just 200. So, yeah. This is incredible. The detail, it's limited, and you just can never get enough Dodgers merch, Dodgers souvenirs, Dodgers collectibles in your life. Okay, so before we get to the second segment, a couple injury updates to get into. Evan Phillips, Tony Gonsolin, they're in OKC. Tony Gonsolin's been dealing with a back injury that he suffered during a weightlifting session, just a little tweak. He's scheduled to start for AAA Oklahoma City tonight. He's been dealing with this injury since he suffered it during the middle parts of March, but he is progressing. He's beginning this recovery, this rehab assignment. He's expected to pitch 2 innings on Thursday. So the big question for Tony Gonsolin is, what is your role in this rotation if everyone stays healthy and Dustin May pitches like he's been pitching? So I think it's going to get interesting because at some point, we're going to have a year where hopefully most of these guys stay healthy, and the Dodgers, a team that has said themselves, Andrew Friedman says, you can't have enough pitching depth. You just saw what they did trading for Esteury Ruiz, trading Carlos Duran. They traded from a position of surplus. So do you trade one of these guys? Do you move one of these guys to the bullpen? Because these bullpen pieces, they all have pretty cemented roles, and they've all pitched well to elite for the most part early on this season. I mean, you look at this Dodgers bullpen, that's been one of the stories early on. Missing Michael Kopech, missing Evan Phillips, they've still been outstanding. They lead all of Major League Baseball in strikeout rate at 35.3%. They lead all of Major League Baseball in strikeout to walk rate. They're first in all the advanced stuff. They're first in FIP. They're first in Sierra. They have the 4th best ERA at 1.83. But the Dodgers bullpen, they've been fantastic, and they're still not at 100%. Now, update on Evan Phillips. He's been dealing with the shoulder, kind of making it back from that. He told me during spring training that he was feeling close to 100%, that they were going to slow play it and make sure that he was a full go when he was going to be ready. He faced live hitters at Dodger Stadium last Friday. I was there for that. He looked really good facing minor league hitters, also faced Chris Taylor, and he looked like he was ready, that this is just a matter of, okay, we want to make sure that we don't have what happened last season and that there's any issues with that. So Evan Phillips is someone that is going to be back very, very soon. They both begin their minor league assignments with AAA Oklahoma City as they work their way back. Phillips is closer than Gonsolin to coming back. He had a rotator cuff strain in his right shoulder last October. He did not make it to the World Series. And he's faced hitters 5 times. Monday, he also faced hitters another time. So he's faced hitters 5 times. And you're probably going to see 3 or 4 rehabs appearances for him before he comes back. And then with Tony Gonsolin, he is someone that I think they're going to slow play, especially when you look at the health of their rotation right now and the performance of Dustin May. Gonsolin said last week, he said, I feel like I have a little bit of kinks to work out, but this is basically my spring training time. I'm going to try to take advantage of that. So you're going to see multiple starts from him, 4 or 5 starts from Tony Gonsolin before he's ready to come back. And unless there's an injury, they kind of rush him through, but I doubt they do that. They still have plenty of depth with Landon Nag. Bobby Miller's already made a start down there. So they're not going to try to rush Tony Gonsolin back, coming back from Tommy John surgery. Then an update on Freddie Freeman. The Freddie Freeman situation is, I think, a major relief. Anytime you slip in a shower, man, it's risky. If you look at those injury rates, they're high. So thankfully, it's nothing serious. He was taking a shower in his guest bedroom and he slipped, and he has tried to play. He wants to play, but with the day off on Thursday, you have the travel. You don't want to have to play, then travel, and what that could do to an injury for soreness purposes and recovery time. So they said, with the day off, let's try to get it back on Friday. But Freddie, he told reporters a couple days ago, it's frustrating because I was actually feeling pretty good. The 3rd game in a row, the Tigers series, it was getting a little stiff at the end. And then playing back to back to back, I was feeling a little stiff, but nothing to be worried about. I was like, oh, good. An off day, I'll be able to recover. And then about 10:15, halfway through my morning coffee, I showered to get ready for the day, and next thing I know, I'm down in the bathtub. You slip in the bathtub showers all the time, but when you're healthy, you catch yourself. Mostly, I think I just flared everything back up. I was a little sore. It's sore on the inside still, but I'm still okay. I'm feeling much better. He said, I did have an x-ray, and there's no chips or anything like that. I literally stepped in with my right foot and slid. I went down. It's a glass door, so it could have been so much worse. I could have hit my head or something like that. I'm very thankful it was just a mishap with my ankle. I'm feeling good today. I'm good to go hit, and if hitting goes well, I'll come out here and run a few sprints, just trying to check the boxes to get back out there. So hopefully we see him back on Friday. He did have surgery to repair damage in his ankle, and he had the ligaments and the tendons and things like that didn't have to be surgically repaired or anything like that, thankfully. But you never want to hear this. And especially with his age, he loves to play, but you need him back out there. I mean, Freddie Freeman's so important to this team. He's already had multiple home runs this season, missing time. And I look at those throws that Max Muncy missed yesterday. Yes, those were errant throws, but Freddie Freeman could have probably digged at least 1 or 2 of those out. He's just a taller, better, it's a Gold Glove first baseman, right? As good as Kike Hernandez is. So Dave Roberts did say that yesterday. He said that it was possible for him to come back, but he wanted to keep him out of the lineup until they started their road trip. So I don't think it's a guarantee he's going to be there Friday, especially if it's rainy. It's supposed to rain in Philly, but he's going to be back at some point this weekend. Whether it be Friday, I think the latest Saturday, but I would not rush Freddie Freeman back. Okay, so let's talk some Blake Snell. I see people freaking out about Blake Snell, and we talked about on the postgame show yesterday an in-depth breakdown on his performance. And yes, this strike throwing has not been there. There's no doubt about that. He first start against Detroit, went 5 innings, gave up 2 runs on 5 hits, had more walks than strikeouts, 4 walks to 2 strikeouts, through 92 pitches. And last night, 4 innings, no earned runs because the errors, 5 hits though, and then the same thing as more walks than strikes. So that has been the issue with Blake Snell so far, is the walk rate has been extremely high. And I do want to point this out, is that the Blake Snell experience, you have to get used to watching him pitch. I don't know how much you watch Blake Snell pitch when he's with the Rays or the Padres or the Giants, but since 2021, there's a very interesting statistic. There's a very interesting statistic that you look at with Blake Snell, and that is that he has the highest strikeout rate and the highest walk rate since 2021. But he still won Cy Youngs. He's still able to perform in that stretch. And after the game, he talked about what it's going to take to kind of get back to that guy who is still walking guys, but still has the ability to be effective and be one of the best pitchers in the sport.
I just got to establish fastball more. After the first couple innings, I just kind of noticed their game plan. Usually I could figure out a lot quicker. But once I figured out their game plan, just allow for quicker innings. But overall, I just got to attack the zone and get strikes. And do that.
So, yeah, I mean, he's got those strikes. He's got to pound the zone. He's got to be out there and be a little more effective with it. And he understands that. He knows what he's doing. But the key for him is just to find that zone. But, like, honestly, it was frustrating last night. It was frustrating last night because home plate ump just was really, really struggling to make sure that he was giving the top of the zone. And we just did not see that. And I think for a pitcher like Blake Snell, who relies on the top of the zone to throw strikes, to not get that call, it really set him back. And Tony Randazzo was doing a horrific job of giving him pitches that if you had the ABS challenge system, he would have gotten it. He would have gotten those strikes. It would have helped them during those at-bats. But here was Blake Snell talking about his frustration in getting those strike calls after the game.
Also, the top of the zone, I think that's been frustrating to me because it doesn't exist. It's not there. It's belt and below. It's not the top of the zone. I think that's been frustrating. I was looking at my starts in 16, 17, 18. The top of the zone was the chest. And it's just completely shrunk to the belt and lower. And then, the ABS system in spring, like looking at that, like it was low. At the top of the zone didn't exist. I think that's frustrating to me. Just knowing, that's a big strength of mine. So why wouldn't it frustrate me in that way? There's definitely ways where I cannot show my emotions and show up an umpire. I just believe, the top of the zone needs to exist. It doesn't right now. And we can go look at it across the league. I've done it. It doesn't exist.
So, I mean, that tells you right there, for someone like a Blake Snell that needs that has his craft really perfected, to have the umpire just kind of being inconsistent, the league kind of being inconsistent, it shows you right there that you just can't have that. You just can't have that. And I think that I want to see umpires see that press conference. I want to see that. And you look at his umpire scorecard last night for Tony Randazzo, he did miss some, and it proves it. The Snell to Olsen, 2 outs, bases loaded, top of the zone, he was calling it a ball. It was a 2-1 count. A strike is called a ball. Top of the second, Snell to Olsen, 2 outs, bases loaded, 1-1 count. Strike is called a ball. Third, bottom of the second, he missed one on the other side. But overall, the Tony Randazzo experience yesterday had a plus 0.07 runs in favor of Atlanta. 93% overall accuracy. Why do you have to have 93% overall accuracy when you can have 100% accuracy if you have the ABS system? I think it's ridiculous. 4 of the 44 called strikes were true balls, and 7 of the 109 called balls were true strikes. Why? Well, you have the ABS. What the hell are we waiting for? It's so stupid. It's beyond dumb. No one comes to watch the ump show. If you came last night, you came to get the Shohei Ohtani bobblehead, to watch Ohtani hit a home run, to watch a Cy Young pitcher deal. You didn't come to see Tony Randazzo in his cute little strike zone. I'm sick of it. They need to adjust it because pitchers that pitch well are being penalized by going with traditional top of the zone executed pitches. So I hate to see it, but I asked Dave Roberts about Blake Snell's performance and what he thought of it after the game. And here's what Doc had to say.
And then with the way he had the 4 innings, 5 hits, the 4 walks, just kind of what you see in his start.
I just didn't think he was sharp. I don't think he really had anything working, to be quite honest. They were seeing the changeup. The slider wasn't there. The curveball was there at times. The fastball, fortunately for us, I think in that 3rd and 4th inning, they got hyper aggressive and allowed him to kind of reset his pitch count somewhat. I just felt 4 innings was plenty for him, but I think that they did us a service by kind of, being extra aggressive when they had him, on the ropes.
Yeah, I mean, Dave did not seem too thrilled with his performance. He was pretty honest about it. And he did mention that in the 3rd and 4th innings, with the Braves being a little aggressive, they kind of bailed him out. So if it weren't for the Braves' approaches late, you might get less Blake Snell and have to see more bullpen guys, and maybe the Dodgers don't win that game. But look, I'm not worried about Blake Snell just because the history tells us that by every statistical measure, he's one of the best second half pitchers in the history of the sport. And sure, early season results haven't been Cy Young level, but still, what would his performance last night looked if Max Muncy had made a couple throws, if he had gotten a couple calls, right? I don't think he's far off from being the Blake Snell that we saw. I saw a tweet out there that was a picture of Russell Westbrook in a Lakers uniform saying that was the Dodgers Blake Snell. That's not true. That's ridiculous. And I think that Blake Snell is going to be just fine, and you're going to get the all-star Cy Young version of Snell. And the funny, his ERA lowered yesterday to 2. He had a 2 ERA yesterday just because it was unearned run, the innings that he did pitch. Now, I've been getting a lot of questions about the center field spot. I will say Andy Pages has faced a lot of elite pitchers, Tariq Skubal and Imanaga, great lefties. Chris Sale hasn't had a ton of success of late. Yesterday, in the 2nd inning, there was a ball hit by Ozzie Albies that went to center field that Pages just didn't take a good route. He got turned around. It was caught in the wind a little bit that forced him to adjust. But with Pages, he doesn't look like he's comfortable in the batter's box. Yes, he's faced elite pitching at where is his biggest strength. That's against lefties. But I think for him, he really, really needs a slump buster. He needs to have a breakout game, a home run, a double, just a come through in a big spot. Because so far, the early returns on Pages, he's 3 for 25 with 1 extra base hit, hitting 120 with 11 strikeouts and 25 at-bats. I'm here to tell you that even if he did face elite pitching and he puts up those same numbers, over the course of a couple months, the Dodgers are going to change some things at center field. Whether that be give Edman a shot in center, give newly acquired Esteury Ruiz, if they figure out what he can do and maybe they change some things with his swing, maybe he gets an opportunity. I think that he's most likely a depth piece if someone gets injured. If you move on from someone on the bench, he's someone that as your 26th man on the roster definitely brings speed. That's a plus off the bench for sure. Ability to steal bases, stole 67 bases a couple seasons ago. Dave did say a little bit about Ruiz yesterday when he was asked about Esteury Ruiz. Dave said, I know he's a plus runner, really astute base runner, an outfielder. Mark Kotze, the manager, really liked him, going back and forth by way of text with Kotz, but that's about it. Not sure where he's slated to go. And I just think that there's some things that our hitting guys felt there's some upside potential there. So that's the number one thing. If they can find a way to unlock some things with his swing and he can be an average hitter and improve his defense, maybe he does get a shot in center field. But I think what they're going to do is they're going to see what they have in Pages. If it doesn't work out, then Hae-Sung Kim gets a month plus down in minor leagues, down in AAA. He's slugged very well, an OPS over 800. They're going to give him a shot in center field. He's been playing more center than second base. Then maybe Ruiz gets a crack at it. Maybe you platoon Hae-Sung Kim and Kike Hernandez. Maybe Tommy Edman gets some more opportunities. But I think big picture, if none of those guys work out, maybe Luis Robert Jr. is that guy. If he picks his season up, the White Sox look to deal, and the Dodgers certainly have the prospects, the pitching prospects for sure to pull off a deal. That's the one position that I can see the Dodgers kind of going a little bigger on, because right now, Conforto's hitting, Teoscar's hitting, Their defense is passable. Center field, you either need an elite defender or someone that can hit and play average defense. And right now they don't have both of those things. So that's the position that I'm looking at this season as far as trades, as far as just the uncertainty with it all. But coming up, we're going to get into some designated Twitter. This is the best of Dodgers social media.
Designated Twitter, the best of Dodgers social media.
So let's rock and roll with some designated Twitter here. And you guys were firing away. By the way, an update on the designated Twitter poll question of the show. Let's see an update on it. I asked you guys if you needed one hit, where would you go? Where would you go for the one hit? You had to pick one Dodger. Right now, 42% say Freddie Freeman, 33% say Shohei, 21% say Mookie Betts. I got some people saying Tommy Edman. I got some people saying Tommy Edman out there for sure. But let's get into it. Let's see some of our best tweets, our best social media posts of the week. We have got this one right here. Move to center here. We got, let's see here. Let's see. I'll pull up my phone. We've got, of course, the Shohei Ohtani walk-off shot got a lot of social media buzz. And we knew that you would see some funny stuff. This is from @Annika Saber says, something I love about Ohtani is how he never looks prideful of himself, but is always just happy to bring success to his team and his teammates. He's so humble about how absolutely one of a kind he is. So really, really cool. So true. He's extremely humble. Let's see what else we got here. We've got... This is from the Dodgers, of course. That feeling when you make history as the only reigning champions to start the season 8-0. Yeah, great shot right there. We've got Vicente Reyes, the last three walk-offs at Dodger Stadium, and has a picture of Freddie Freeman's walk-off grand slam in Game 2 of the World Series, Mookie's walk-off on ring night, and then Shohei's walk-off yesterday. Just how magical is that? I love the fact that the last three walk-offs at Dodger Stadium are all the MV3. Freddie, Mookie, and Shohei Ohtani. Three of the best in the world. They're all on the same team. In-N-Out Burger tweet out, Dodgers are now 8-0. Would you like to see an In-N-Out at Dodger Stadium? So I would love to see an In-N-Out at Dodger Stadium, but the only issue I would have is by the time you get your food, Tanner Scott's going to be on the mound closing things out. It's going to be the 9th inning. Just imagine what those lines would look like. The lines are already incredibly long. It's like the opening day of the Indiana Jones ride in 1995. That's how at Disneyland. It's like Splash Mountain, the Matterhorn in the summertime. I mean, it's just incredible lines already. So to have In-N-Out at Dodger Stadium would be pretty insane. The lines, and also with the prices be up too. But I mean, who's going to say no to In-N-Out, man? The best burger in the game. What else we got though? We've got, the zestiest pitch of all. This is from Bat Flip Center. It says the zestiest hit by a pitch of all time. Okay, how's zesty? Hey, nice job, Boogie. Oh my goodness, we give us a bro. Let's run that back here. We got the zestiest pitch of all time. You got Mookie flying up, going full Matrix, hovering, defying gravity. Nah, man, this was just great work by Mookie. Up in a nasty, what's that song? Yeah, it's pretty awesome right there. We've got this one right here. What was Mookie doing? And this is Shohei Ohtani rounding third, heading into home to get mobbed out of the walk-off. Mookie, he's got that wide stance right there. That wide stance, getting low, getting ready to celebrate with Shohei Ohtani. So, yeah, that's great stuff. Mookie's just killing the game this year, beating the allegations. We got Valerie says Panda Express employees clocking in the day after another Dodgers win. That one's pretty awesome. Yeah, guys, don't even go to the grocery store anymore. Don't even buy food because you can eat on Panda Express for the entire season. You're not going to have to worry about it. Panda Express you haven't seen something like this since it was the Popeye chicken sandwiches during COVID, right? When it was all the buzz. Oh, how about this? I tweeted this out. This is the new Dodger Stadium employee hats, and they're really nice. You got the hexagon shape like the scoreboards. This is Dodger Stadium, 1000 Vince Scully Avenue. Welcome to Dodger Stadium. This is really, really cool right here. The fact they have that, I think that's really, really awesome. I had a Dodger Stadium employee tell me that they were offered $100 for their hat. That's a pretty fresh lid, right, Noel?
Super awesome, man. That was a great shot. It's always good showing love to the Dodger Stadium employees, and just seeing what I mean. They're a big reason why the games are so enjoyable. So it's good to see them get that exclusive merch for sure.
Who do we got to email for that, by the way? Like, who do we have to contact
For one of those hats?
Yeah, like we could probably should email, try to contact someone. You know,
how about the homie Will? He works at our buddy Will from Dodger Stadium Blue Crew.
Let's try to hit up Will.
Yeah,
we got to get one of those hats. I'm pretty sure he'd give us his. This is from Doyers Dave. I love Doyers Dave, man. He drops that fire content. He tweeted out, other teams should refrain from going up 5-0 on the Dodgers. Just saying, you got the Drewski kind of meme right there. So yeah, that's some great stuff right there. And what else we got? I
think we have
they need a new hit celebration. They've been kind of stuck on the Freddie, on the charge up. They've been doing that for quite some time, but it looks like we have got a new celebration, a new hit celly for the Dodgers. And you saw this yesterday. As Shohei Ohtani hits the home run. He's rounding third. He's going home. And first thing I thought is he was putting his hands in front of his eyes. The first thing I thought was that he was putting his hands in front of his eyes just so he didn't get water in his eyes, so he could shield his eyes from water. But no, if you look at that again, let's run that back. If you look at this again, Shohei's going home, and then Mookie is doing it. Rojas was doing it. And then Shohei Ohtani is doing it right here. Across his eye. You're probably thinking, what the heck is this? Why are this a Pulp Fiction thing? No, it is Shohei Ohtani's. Let's run that so we can see what they're trying to do here. Shohei Ohtani's endorsement list is very, very long, but he also does a face lotion décolleté, and that is what he does in the commercial here. So clearly his teammates saw this in Japan, and there it is right there. Check it out. So that is going to be the new hit celebration. I know they've been toying with the decoy. There's that. I give this one a 10 out of 10. I give this one a 10 out of 10 because it works as far as you rounding the bases. You're not going to put yourself in an uncomfortable position, and it shows you that this team can have fun with the superstars on this team, that a superstar like Shohei Ohtani is not going to take himself too seriously. I mean, you heard what Shohei Ohtani said to us after the game when we talked to him about that home run on bobblehead night. He said that the vibes for this team are part of the reason why they're able to come back, why they've came back in 6 of their 8 games this season. So I think that is, it shows that this team is going to win, but they're going to have fun doing it, right? So it's a work hard, play hard type thing that they're doing it. So I love to see that from this team. So yeah, let me know down below in the comment section, what was your designated Twitter favorite social media moment of the week? Got some super chat stuff here. You know, we're going to hit that on the 7th inning stretch. So that's coming up here on the 7th inning stretch. Give me all your takes on all things Dodger baseball. Any questions about your boys in blue, drop them down below.
The 7th inning stretch.
We have got a $5 super chat from Tayo Serrano. $5 watching Ohtani hit that walk-off home run in the 9th for me was like watching Kobe in the 4th quarter with 5 seconds on the clock for 3. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that Shohei Ohtani is going to go down as the best athlete in Los Angeles sports history. And yesterday was another prime example when everyone in the crowd gets up with their phones expecting something, and he doesn't strike out, he doesn't ground out, he doesn't hit a single double or even a triple, he doesn't draw a walk, he hits a bomb on the first pitch, on a changeup on the outer half. My man is built different. He's built for all-time greatness because for whatever reason, he's able to slow the moments down when the lights get the brightest and deliver in those big moments. I can tell you, sitting in the press box, seeing Andy Pages at the plate, I was thinking to myself, just don't hit a home run. Like anything but a home run. Get single, double, triple, strikeout, anything but a home run. We do not need to see Andy Pies, even though he struggled early on, to see him hit a walk-off. Be a great moment for him. But yesterday was Shohei Ohtani's night, and he delivered in a big way like he always does. And that's what superstars do. And it's another example of this team wins games, but they do it in dramatic fashion. And that's why I would never bet against the Dodgers in the playoffs, because they're never out of it. And last night was another prime example. So we got Foop says, I thought he was hiding his face because of what they did to Mookie. No, I'm telling you, that's it. It is the Lalotion product. We got the Abstract. I know Jack in the Box is happy. They don't have to give out free burgers no more. LOL. Back to back. D-Mag, are you worried about Roki facing Philly? Am I worried? No, just because even if he goes 1 or 2 innings and gets rocked, he's 23. A lot of young. Greg Maddux had a terrible start to his career. The list of pitchers goes on and on that did not have great starts to their careers. So worst case scenario, if he got rocked, the Dodgers are 8-0. You got a ton of starting pitching depth. He's going to have more than enough time to figure things out. I'm looking for flashes of greatness from Roki Sasaki right now. I'm looking for someone that shows the ability to work his way through adversity, because let's not forget, when you're great at every level and you haven't faced a ton of adversity, it's going to be a new experience for you when you get humbled a little bit against big league hitters. So if he gets rocked, hey, deal with it. Adjust. What do we got to work on? Fastball command. My big thing with Roki is this. The reason why he hasn't pitched well is because the fastball command has not been there. But in the NPB, his fastball command was top notch. It was really, really good. And that's something that I think is mechanical. I think is adjusting to a bigger, less tackier ball. I think is adjusting to pressing a little bit, wanting to impress Shohei and Yamamoto and Mookie and Freddie, the Dodgers organization, a country of 100 million that know that he's here, right? So there's a lot of things going on with Roki Sasaki, but I'm here for it. Like I said, I have receipts longer than the line at In-N-Out on Friday night at 10 o'clock. I got receipts longer than the CVS receipt for those that are counting out Roki Sasaki. The Roki of the year is still in play. So I'm not selling any stock in Roki. I bought every house on Roki Sasaki Island, and none of those houses are going up for sale. So Bernie Burns, but yeah, tough lineup though. Tough lineup on the road. Going to be a tough spot for him, but let's hope that it's almost a coming out party, and at the very least he pitches well. Bernie Burns, Dodgers, the start selling sake bombs, call them Sasaki bombs. Bernie Burns, you take up the marketing department. Jason Diller, D-Mac, we need a bona fide center fielder. Trade by, who do you want? We'll be talking about that in the last segment. But Luis Robert Jr., I want to see him with that contract. He has a couple $20 million club options after owing him $15 million this year. That's a great contract for an all-star level player, but he has to start playing like an all-star level center fielder to even consider that. He's got off to a slow start. Let's see what he does in the next month or so, and let's see how the Dodgers' current pieces perform. Garrett, Ump was honoring Angel Hernandez last night. It's a comment of the show.
You win.
Yeah. As I said last year, Angel Hernandez announcing his retirement was the only right call he's ever made in his career. We got Jose, not sure why, but Doug laughing cracks me up. Okay. Now I'm afraid to laugh. I feel uncomfortable laughing, but don't care 187. The Dodgers need better food in the top deck. Interesting. I'll go to the top deck, see what's going on with that. Darren Shepard, he better not get fined. He didn't make any statement, just making an observation about the top of the zone not being there the last few years. Yeah, I was thinking that too, because I was thinking about asking Snell about the bad calls and didn't want to put him in a tough spot to get a fine or just kind of say something. But I agree with you. Nothing that he said, I think, was inflammatory or really called things out. It's just stating a fact. And I gave you guys the ump scorecard. He did miss those calls at the top of the zone. Joseph Hart, Snell joins the Dodgers and loses his velocity and can't get swing and miss. Why does this happen to us? Sasaki, Scott, Snell all lost their velo. I mean, it's early in the season. Scott's is like a tick low. Snell's like a tick low, but he's not a guy that relies on velocity. As long as he's pumping 95, 96, he'll be fine. Sasaki, the first game was hitting 100. Last game topped out at close to 97. So it's still early. You're ramping up. So let's have this conversation in a month or two, and we'll discuss if it's an issue. But I don't think it truly is. Jose Castaneda, does anyone think Freddie bobblehead night is going to be crazy? I'll tell you right now, it's going to be crazy because the tickets to Freddie bobblehead night, I believe, Noel, it's next Friday, right?
Next Friday.
Next Friday.
They were smart for making it a Friday night.
Next Friday, starring Ice Cube and Mike Epps. Yeah, it's going to be next Friday, and the ticket prices are actually higher than they were for yesterday.
Oh, man.
Which is crazy to think.
That's
and I like it, too, because that's the moment right there.
Yeah, no, I mean, my eyes is like last season, the most attended game was Kike's bobblehead night. I want to see if one of these bobblehead nights this year surpassed. I think it was 57,000 during the regular season for Kike's bobblehead night.
Yeah, yesterday it was like 50,000. Actually, no, I tweeted out, but it was like 50,000.
51,000. I saw your tweet.
51.
Wait,
yeah.
tell us. I know you told me the story, but tell everybody about when you send those tweets out about the attendance. You said you hear it in the press box.
Oh yeah, no, they do it every year. They just kind of announce the official attendance, and I tweet out once, and Noel made fun of me, so I make sure to tweet out every time. The official attendance was 50,281. So yeah, I'm surprised no one made fun of my life preserver, Marty McFly vest in the comments today.
Yeah, 57,000 number to beat this year for Kike.
That's the number to beat. That's insane, to be honest. The most attended Dodger game, by the way, was when the Pope visited back in 1987. It was at 60K. But did you watch the World Series doc on Apple TV? It's called Fight for Glory. It is fire emojis, 3 of those. MJ, I haven't seen it. I'm going to watch it this weekend on the road for sure. Matt Leiter, something is up with Freddie. I'm concerned. He's fine. I'm here to tell you he's 100% going to be okay. It's not an issue. Trevor, Dodgers' record and performance is going to be skewed. Every team is going to start their aces against them. Sale, Skubal, Flaherty, Imanaga, even Steele. Look, there's going to be a bullseye, and you're right. They're going to try to line up better pitching against the Dodgers all season long, but that's really nothing new, to be honest with you. And at the end of the day, it's going to balance itself out for sure. We got a couple more here, then we'll get to the walk-off. Tommy Tanks licking his lips when he sees these left-handed pitching starters. Luzardo next. Yeah, Tommy Edman, I'm going to talk about him more tomorrow, but he hit his 4th home run yesterday. In his 8th game of the season. When he had a career-high 13 home runs in 2013, in 2023, he hit his 4th home run in his 23rd game of the year. So he's on pace for 81 home runs, right? Tommy Tanks is real, and I'm going to go in depth because I was able to talk to Tommy Edman about the surge in power and how he's been able to accomplish that. We'll get into that tomorrow for sure. But keep dropping comments down below, guys, and let's get to the walk-off.
The walk-off.
All right, so today for the walk-off, we're going to do unboxing of the Shohei Ohtani MVP bobblehead, and I thought it was really cool last night. But first of all, I showed up, and there was a line of tons and tons of people. They had got there at 7, 8, 9 in the morning, super early in the day, and then it came out that they were just going to give out 50,000 bobbleheads. I did not talk to one fan yesterday that didn't get one. I did not talk to one fan yesterday that did not get one. Everyone in the media got one. Every person within the Dodgers got one. So I think that's really cool. And I think that's what they need to do, right? I mean, if Shohei Ohtani is going to have a bobblehead night, every single fan in attendance should get one, because if you're going to charge dynamic pricing, that is because of the bobblehead night. So you shouldn't have to pay more for a ticket unless you're guaranteed a bobblehead. And I think that they kind of realize that. But this is definitely, I mean, I don't think anything tops the decoy one. I actually think the decoy one is better than the gold one, because the gold one, I just think a C3PO or an Oscar or something like that. But I think this one's really nice because you've got the MVP trophy, and the boxing detail is really awesome on this as well. 310 batting average, 54 home runs, 59 stolen bases, 1,036 OPS, 130 RBIs, and the graphics are really great. It's the first of 4 this season. You got the black sleeve, the details are nice, and it's just kind of what it represents. Shohei Ohtani is a Dodger, and it's really amazing to see that. That I will say, though, I was a little disappointed last night because I do think there were some fans that came, got their bobblehead. It was kind of a cold night at Dodger Stadium. And as it kind of got chillier, they were down 5-0. I saw a lot of people leaving Dodger Stadium. And some people missed that Shohei Ohtani walk-off home run. So I know sometimes it's tough to exit Dodger Stadium with the traffic. I know it's rough. but never leave a game. You never know what's going to happen, especially with this Dodgers team. Look, I got a friend. I'm not going to put him on blast right now, but his name is Kevin Schulman. He's actually a successful director. You can look it up. And Kevin Schulman, he texted me, said, hey, I'm at the game. I said, you get a bobble? He said, yeah, just left. I said, come back. Ohtani going to hit a walk-off. He shows me a picture of him in the parking lot. I was like, come back. He said, haha, holy ish. I was like, I tried to tell you. He said, LOL, you're a psychic. And I said, LOL, I'm going to post that and put you on blast. So how to put him on blast. That is a warning. If you tell me you left the game and the Dodgers hit a walk-off, you best believe I'm going to put it up. But no, it's all fun and games. He's a great fan. He loves his Los Angeles Dodgers. But guys, what a night at Dodger Stadium. This team is off to a historic start. The best start for a team defending a World Series title in history. 8-0, passing the 1933 Yankees. This is the best time to be a Dodgers fan. Like Dave Roberts said, they're unbeatable. It looks like they can be unbeatable on any given night. But that's going to do it for this episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. Thank you to everyone that tunes into the show every day. Do me a huge favor, though. I was in the Discord yesterday. I'm kind of addicted already. Dropping videos, dropping pictures from Dodger Stadium, dropping me eating the 16-inch glizzy, right, in the Discord. Join the Discord, and then most importantly, do the VIP access. $6.99. We just dropped the price. You get behind-the-scenes content, exclusive merch, giveaways, Q&As, be able to call into this show. Lots of awesome stuff. So if you want to do me a huge favor, join that. Also subscribe to my new channel, The Big Lead One, hottest stories in sports in less than an hour. But that's going to do it for this episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Special thanks to my man, producer Noel Sanchez. Rock with us as always. Thank you guys in the chat. Drop those comments down below. A super chat on the way out at $1.99 from Sports Cards, Report Cards. Need a Kike bobblehead with a middle finger ring. Yeah, you're going to have to go the custom route for that, but that would be pretty awesome. But that is going to do it, guys. Tomorrow we'll be back. Dugout Live post-game show. Enjoy your off night, but that is going to do it for this episode. Remember, nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.